What's up guys, how you all doing? Cosmic Curry here. Today we're going to be discussing the String Theory ops which have been released today. They're going to be going on for 3 days. I think apart from silver earning ops, this is one of my most favourite ops that Wargaming do for us here on the console. And it lasts for 3 days, and it's basically where it's pretty simple. You win 2 victories, you get times 2 XP. You win 3 victories in a row, times 3. So on and so forth, and it goes up to the 5th, and once you hit the 5th you get times 5, and if you continue getting victories, you'll continue getting times 5 XP. Once you lose, you go back to 0, you start all over again. This is a great way of earning XP, whatever you need your XP for, basically. Perhaps you, like myself, you're grinded out at tier 9 and you want to hit that tier 10 as quick as possible. I have basically been grinding out the tier 9 German heavy tank, the VK4502B. This is perfect for me because I'm not a big fan of this tank. I originally played in it when it led to the mouse, and now it leads to, I can't remember the other, tier 10. But in the space of, I think it's about 12 games, I've earned in the region of about 60,000 XP basically, which is fantastic when you consider on average, once you get your daily double out of the way on a pretty good game, you're gonna earn, you know, around 1.5 K XP per game. So this is a fantastic way of grinding out those tanks. For those of you that are old school veterans and you have all the tier 10s and you have no tanks that need grinding in the world, you can use this op for improving your crew skills and perks. That's one thing that it can be used for as well. So some hints, tips, tricks, I guess, whatever you want to call it, on how to do this op. All I can tell you is what I've been doing. I mean, bottom line, the name of the game is to reach that 5th victory in a row. In my personal opinion, you need to basically improve the odds with the first couple of games. I realized when the ops came out the last time that I was doing something very, very wrong, which was I was playing the tank that I was grinding throughout the ops, and because I was grinding out the tank, I wasn't that familiar with the tank, and it wasn't my peak performance in a tank because I was grinding out the tank. I wasn't familiar with it, and I realized that you don't need to play in the same tank from game 1 all the way to game 5. The name of the game is to reach the 5th battle and try and maintain that victory, you know, as long as possible. So what can you do to improve your chances of moving up those victories, going from first victory to second victory to third victory to etc, etc? Well, you can basically play in another tank, and the tank that you're grinding, you're going to play that at battle number 3, battle number 4, battle number 5. If you're particularly bad in the tank, then possibly maybe I would leave it until battle number 4 and 5, you know, because that'll lessen your chances of getting a loss, and it'll improve your chances of getting a victory, you know, if you understand what I'm saying. And basically, what do you play at battle number 1, 2, 3? You play in your most OP tank. You have a look at your stats and take a look what's your best win rate tank. For me personally, I chose the Tiger 131. It's not necessarily a carry tank. You can carry in the tank, but it's more of a, in my personal opinion, like a pay to win tank. It really is overpowered as F, 100%. And even though I only had, there were other tanks with kind of better win rate, but I chose the Tiger 131 basically, even though I only had 20 games in it, so it wasn't a proven. I know once I hit about 50 to 100 games, the win rate on my Tiger 131 will drop substantially, because currently it's at 80%, and that is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. But it's not that ridiculous, you know, when you play, if you have the Tiger 131 and you've played it, it's just OP as hell. So there was the T67 as well. I think I got like a 70-75% win rate, but that's kind of retired and it doesn't have any equipment, etc, etc. So bottom line, I chose what I thought was my most OP tank, which is the Tiger 131. It's OP for its tier, it gets preferential matchmaking, it's fast reloading, it's an incredibly nutty tank. It really is. Well, you guys know all this. So, and literally on my first try at getting the string free Yops, game 1 victory in the Tiger 131, game 2 victory, game 3 victory. So I was good to go, and I had I'm gonna put them up on screen, a pretty decent 4th and 5th game in the VK4502B. That's the thing, I'm not expecting amazing things because I'm not that great in this tank, because I really don't like this tank, and I understand how it works, and I side scrape like a boss. But the thing is, when I'm on, you know, Sand River, where am I going to side scrape? Yeah, and yeah, so I mean, there are areas where you can side scrape. So that's my advice to you guys, first and foremost, is to use an OP tank to get your first couple of victories, first 2 to 3 victories. Because if I, for instance, played in my VK4502B continuously, I'd never bring it up to that 5th victory. I might get like 2 or 3 victories and that'll be it, but I would never, mostly once, if I played all day long for 24 hours straight, because I'm not that good in it, because I don't like it, because I don't think it adapts well to certain maps 100%. So you need to be in a tank that's flexible, that's OP, that's pay to win. That's the Tiger 131. XP boosts. If you have any kind of XP boosts, now is the time to use them. I have been using my ×2 XP boosts. Once I initially got in my tank, my VK45, I had battle 3 and 4. Once I hit that 5th battle, then I switched over to the ×3 XP boost. I have only about 10 ×3 XP boosts. ×2, I've got about, I don't know, 20, 30, so more so. The ×3 I was using sparingly, 100%, and trying to maximize that ×5 victory. So I'm going to get ×3 XP, I'm going to get a ×5 XP from the String Fury Ops. And don't forget your regular ops. Your regular ops need to be used, activated, but you need to have a look at, you know, the particular ops and how to win them. You know, for instance, enemy is hit, that you can win 5 times a day. But there's other ones. What is it? Supreme Commander, which is placed as a top vehicle destroyer on your team. That you can only win 3 times a day. So basically what I'm saying is, once you switch over to the tank that you're grinding, only then turn on these ops. Only then turn on these ops. Don't win these ops, the basic ops, while you're in your Tiger 131, because that is going to be a waste. Of course, you want to, once you hit that ×4 and ×5, you want to be getting your regular ops as well as, you know, your boost ops, and trying to maximize as much as you can the amount of XP that you get. Now once you're in game, I found myself playing a little bit differently, because I'm playing for the win, and not only am I playing for the win, I'm trying to prevent the enemy team from winning. And I found myself not afraid to use premium shells. Don't worry about using premium. If you want to use premium shells, use premium shells. I wasn't spamming them, but I wasn't afraid to use them, is what I was saying. Not in the Tiger 131, but definitely in the VK45. It's a very different tank once you load the premium shells. I'm not giving you my blessing, I'm not telling you not to do it either. But you're there to win a game, you know. And with the VK45, the tank has so many negatives that it just needs all the help that it can get, basically. But what do I mean about trying to win the game? Well, trying to win the game is, for instance, in one match, my whole team lemming trained down one side, and I decided to stay back and take care of the base, because the base was left wide open, and anybody could have come onto the base, jumped onto the base, capped out the base, and that's it. They would have got a win. But because I was back there, I was able to prevent a sneaky little scout coming in. You know, I destroyed him. Again, I didn't carry the game, but I prevented the Reds from getting a sneaky win. You know, I'm not looking for huge amounts of damage or anything like that. Definitely, I was applying to. I wanted to see my tank through till the end of the battle, in each and every battle, so I could affect the outcome of the game as much as possible. I mean, that's how I normally play, but even more so in a tank that I'm not that great in, that I don't like playing in, that I think is hindered by a lot of negative factors, which is what a lot of people experience when they're grinding a tank, and it's not the tank that they want the tank that's at tier 10, or the tank at the next tier. So I would say my moves, my tactics, my strategies were very contrived, very, I don't know, suppressy. I wasn't aggressive. I wasn't over the top with my moves. I was very cautious, I was very careful. Not when I was in the Tiger for 1-3-1. 1-3-1, you just aggressive, you win the game. But yeah, you just. But like I said, I managed to get in 10-13 games. I got the String Fury up straight away first game. And some people will say, "Oh, you're a fantastic player. Oh, you're a great player." But straight away, as soon as I lost, I think I managed the ×5 for about 2-3 games in a row. And then as soon as I lost, I could not get a victory in my Tiger 1-3-1 for, I don't know, 5-6 games. It took me another 5-6 games to bring it back up again to I think it was ×3 or ×4, something along those lines. It's a fantastic way of basically earning a buttload of XP. If you want to finish the grind on a terrible tank, on a boring tank, if you want to get that tier 10 tank as quick as you can, the String Fury Ops are really good for this, and they're only on for 3 days. Take advantage of them as much as you can. I mean, I wasn't going to mention this, but I mean, I didn't do this, but I was fully prepared to, do sneaky caps if I thought my contribution to the game was gonna be minimal. And I know this isn't very noble, it isn't very honourable, but I was fully prepared to sneak it into the enemy Red's base and just get a sneaky cap, because I can't do that much in my VK. I know there's a lot of people out there that think this tank is fantastic, amazing, and I see what it does, and but it's kind of like one of those tanks that unless it's top tier, it sucks, and but who am I to judge this thing? A lot of people don't mention this, like when you're at tier 9, what you have at tier 9 is preferential matchmaking. Nobody's ever used this term when it comes to the tier 9 tanks. You never ever bottom tier, and that's what preferential matchmaking is. You're never bottom tier. But the thing is, true, you're up against tier 10s, so there is that negative factor. So just to recap, use your most OP tank that you have in your arsenal to get your first, second or third victory. The tank that you're grinding, either start at battle number 3 or battle number 4, is totally up to you. Whatever you feel the most comfortable with. Don't forget, when you get up to victory number 4 or 5 or 3, to turn on your XP boosters, whether it be ×2 or ×3, and don't forget to turn on your regular ops as well. And keep in mind, once you have lost a battle and you go back to ground zero, remember to turn all this stuff off. Don't be wasting your ×3 XP boost on your very first game in a Tiger 131, which you don't need. And the ×3 XP boosts are, you know, they're in my case they're very rare. But anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed. Good luck. Hope you get that tier 10. Take it easy. Adios, muchachos.